Hello and welcome to another video of mine. We are outside and enjoying the weather, and maybe it's gonna rain a little bit because it's just constantly raining right now, so maybe I'll have to hurry. But in this week I thought about maybe doing a thriller week because usually I don't read a lot of thrillers, and I want to test myself a little bit to see if I can find a thriller that I like. But I also thought about doing a week where I try to read as many genres as possible. Because that could also be really, really fun, but I'll see what I'll choose. But if I decided to do the thriller week, I have two books that I borrowed from the library. The first one is called The List by Yomi Adagok, and the other one is called The Last by Hanna Jameson. And this one is a book about a woman whose husband is getting accused of harassing another woman, and she's really confused because otherwise she have had a really great husband, so what is she gonna do about it? That's what I know, but it sounded really, really interesting. And the other one I think is a post-apocalyptic book. It's about these people stuck at this hotel and they can't get in contact with the rest of the world. The internet is down, the power is down. Yeah, it sounded really, really interesting as well. I think these books sounds more like my vibe thriller-wise. I'm not usually into like a murder mystery with a police officer. I really like that as a Netflix show, but not for a book. And I just think there's so many thrillers with that theme, so I have to find other thrillers. And I also started a thriller as an audiobook, and that's called The Death of Mrs. Westaway. And this one is about Hal that gets contacted by a lawyer, and she learns that she is the heir to this estate from Mrs. Westaway. I think that is what's going to happen. I'm not that far into the book yet, and I think that her uncles are maybe not the best, so some scary things are gonna happen. And I also think it has the vibe of a scary house, a really old house, and maybe it's not, but I'll see. I am like 2 hours into the book, so I don't really know what to think about it yet. But if I'm not gonna do this thriller week, I definitely want to read some historical fiction, some fantasy, maybe even some sci-fi and romance. I have a lot of books on my TBR list, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that is it for now, and then I'll update you in a little while. Hopefully I have finished The Death of Mrs. Westaway, and maybe I'll try to read one of these books. I don't have so much time to actually read right now compared to listening to audiobooks, because my daughter just got surgery and she's home from daycare the next couple of weeks, and then we go on vacation. So usually when she's home I go on a lot of walks with her, and then I can listen to audiobooks, but I don't really have the time to sit down and read, so I'll have to see if I can find some time in the evenings to do some reading, or if I'm just way too tired, because there's a lot of work after the surgery. She got a stomach pump so that she can get fed easier, and so she can gain some weight, because we're really struggling with that. She has cerebral palsy. I'll see if I can find some time. But yeah, that's the update for now, and then I'll see you in a little bit. So I am back, and I finished The Death of Mrs. Westaway. And yeah, it was really all right. I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.5, 3.8 or something. I was entertained. It wasn't boring. Overall, an all right thriller. So it's about Hall, like I explained before, and somehow she's included in this will of Mrs. Westaway, and she doesn't really know how she's related to her, or if she even is at all, and she's going to find out. Yeah, it was fine. A good thriller to start with as well. It's not a story that I'm gonna remember forever, but I was really, really entertained throughout it all, and that is what counts. So I'm not really gonna spoil anything more than I did. So yeah, that's it for that book. And then I finished another book actually, and that's The Silent Patient by Alex something. And this book has been all over BookTube. I think it's because of the twists and turns that it takes. The audiobook was like 8 hours or something, so it is really a short book actually. But I was again entertained, and I liked the twists and turns that it took, and there's a lot of psychological analysis analysis going on in this book, because the main character Theo is I think he's a psychologist and not a psychiatrist, but maybe he's also a psychiatrist, but I think he's a psychologist, and he's really taken away by this case of a woman who kills her husband, and she's in this mental institution, and he gets a job there, but he actually gets a job there because of her, because he wants to help her. She doesn't speak, and she hasn't done that since the murder of her husband. And yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else, but I did like all the psychological theories in this book. I really like that, and yeah, you are thinking while you're reading it, and there's some hints and clues there that is quite nice actually. So maybe this book could even be a 4-star for me. That's pretty high for a thriller. So I mean, so far it's going really, really great. So that was 2 audiobooks, and then I started a 3rd audiobook. And like I said in my first intro, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to read this week, if I wanted to like read a lot of genres or just thrillers. But I decided on thrillers and scary books. So it's gonna be like my Summerween video. And the next audiobook that I started is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. And this book has been so popular on BookTube, and I really want to get to it. So this is a horror book, and I am like a half an hour into it right now, so I don't know much, but I think it takes place in the late 80s or the early 90s. Grady Hendrix made like a prologue where he's talking about the reason why he wrote this book, and it's to take like the parents' perspective when scary things happen to the children, because usually when you read it from the child's perspective or the teenager's perspective, the parents are just really annoying and mean. So something is going to happen to the children, I'm guessing. And it has to do with like a vampire. So that's what I know. But yeah, the book club consists of like women, housewives. So they are going to solve this mystery, murders, something. So yeah, I'm really excited to see. I have not read a Grady Hendrix book before. And I don't know if I'm into horror at all. Sometimes it's just a little bit too much, and I don't like to read about people getting killed. So that's not really my thing. I can watch a lot of true crime on Netflix, but reading about it, not so much. But I also started reading this book, The Last, by Hanna Jameson. And I am at page 46. It is about people staying at this hotel, and then suddenly they learn that every big city in the world has been bombed, and they are like in the middle of nowhere in Switzerland, and they're just trying to survive, I guess. Right now I am at day 51, and I'm not really that far into it yet, but so far so good. They did find a dead girl in a water tank, and she was about 9 or so, they guess. I'm not really so much into that, like I don't like dead children and it. But I'll see how it goes. But it seems really exciting, so I'm into that. Oh yeah, the main character is a man, and he comes from the US, and he's been staying at this hotel for a conference, and he can't get in contact with his wife or children, so he thinks that they're probably dead. But yeah, overall it seems really, really exciting, so yeah. So I think those are the book that I'm able to get through before I finish this vlog, because right now it's Thursday, and then on Wednesday we are going to Sweden, and I want to close up this vlog on Tuesday then. So see how much I'll get through. Maybe I haven't finished this book by then, but I'll give you an update on it, and then I'll bring it with me to Sweden. Right now I'm like thinking, why didn't I wait with this vlog until I'm in Sweden? Because Sweden, or at least when you live in Denmark, Sweden is known for, Swedish authors are known for writing a lot of thrillers. Are they good? No, not usually. So, but anyways, it would be funny to read a little bit out there in the wild, in the woods. But yeah, this week's been a little bit hard. My daughter got the stomach surgery, so she got her stomach pump, her stomach tube. Yeah, it's just been awful. We've been at the hospital so many times afterwards, because it's just not really working, and she's throwing up a lot. But I'm sitting there feeding her through the tube. And I have a lot of time to listen to audiobooks while I'm doing that. And she's watching Miss Rachel on YouTube. She loves Miss Rachel, so that's great. If you are in for a tip like Miss Rachel, she's the thing. But yeah, tonight me and my husband talked about going outside to the garden and make a fire. we're not crazy. Uh, make a fire and just have a good time if she is falling asleep at a reasonable hour. So I am back again with my final update for this thriller spooky vlog. I think I could call this a Summerween vlog, right? And I just finished the Grady Hendrix book, the 7th book club to Slaying Vampires. And it was such a good pick for summer and for Summerween. And I was surprised about how much I actually enjoyed this book. I was a little bit worried that it would be too much, too splattery or something like that, but it really wasn't. And I really enjoyed the characters in this book and all the conversations, and it takes place in the 90s. It's a little bit sexist back then, and yeah, there's some feminism going on in this book, and I really enjoyed it. And just like the vibe was really, really great. Really warm summer, but you have that spooky element to it with, like, you know, some animals there, like a snake, rat, stuff like that. Yeah, it was honestly just such a good book for summer and not so scary. What I also really did enjoy about this book is that it's not about teenagers or really young people. It's about people in their, I guess, 40s, and it's just so rare that you get to read about people that are a little bit older. So thumbs up for that. Overall, I'm really, really surprised about this book, and it's definitely gonna be a 4-star, and perhaps even a little bit more. This My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix too, and it takes place in the same town. So maybe I will read that also this summer. I've gotten like a little bit further into the last, and so far it still seems great, but I won't be finishing it for this vlog. I'm gonna give you an update on that in my next video, because we are going on vacation tomorrow and I'm busy packing and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and then in my next video I'm gonna do like a vacation vlog where I'm trying to read as many genres as I can. I think that's my plan so far. I hope that you want to see that video as well, and that you enjoyed this one and that you find some inspiration, and I'll see you